Crawl space digouts are complex structural projects. It involves when you have an existing crawl space or maybe a very short basement like an old cellar, a lot of times you'll see in Denver, where we are taking the existing basement. In this example was a short basement. You can see the old slab height was right here. It was like 6.5 feet to the floor joist up there. So on this project, and crawl space dig out projects, we're gonna dig down the soil about 3 to 4 feet. We're gonna reinforce the foundation with usually an underpin detail like this, pour a new concrete foundation underneath the existing. This was existing brick above grade, concrete below grade. So crawl spaces are complex structural projects that include excavation, shoring, dirt disposal, hauling the dirt off, and then also doing the concrete foundation work, either helical piers or a footing design. All the under slab preparation, including plumbing, pea gravel, vapor barrier, perimeter drain, and radon, as well as pouring the basement slab. Part of your basement conversion or your crawl space to basement conversion, you can also hire us to finish it out as well. So a project like this, when you hire us for the dig out, the concrete work, and all of the finishing work, usually runs between $300,000 to $400,000 inside of Denver here. This space is about 1,000 square foot. Typically what you'll find is doing a project like this, a crawl space dig out or a basement conversion, is cheaper in Denver than a similar size project of an addition or a pop top. Some of the complexities that a crawl space dig out or a basement conversion will give us, and that we need to consider part of designing these for the full basement finish and permitting. So you can see over here, we have a couple of staircases that were going into the existing basement. You can see this one coming down from the upstairs, a really nice set of stairs, but you can see that the old height of the basement being right here, we need to rework the basement entryway here to get the proper headroom, the proper length of the stairs, the proper rise and run of the stairs. And so they'll be coming down here and then turning around this corner into this new basement. So we need to rework a portion of the upstairs closet to allow proper headroom coming down into the basement. So stairs is always a consideration when doing these projects, where to put them, how to modify the current structure upstairs, and make the layout all work together. Another consideration on these crawl space dig outs is always, what's the condition of the current mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, or the MEP systems? When we're adding all of the square footage and updating the foundation lifespan of the home, we almost always are doing something with the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. You can see on this project, we have an existing furnace. It's not terribly old, but it's not exactly new either. And then all of the existing ductwork, which is very old. So we're going to put in a whole new furnace, AC, all new ductwork, including supplies and returns, bathroom fans, dryer vents, etc. So they're getting a completely new HVAC system, as well as the plumbing here. We got an older water heater. We're gonna do a new water heater on this project, new gas lines to it. We're gonna be reworking a lot of the supplies that were down here. All the drains are getting reworked completely. And then another consideration here, we have a floor drain. Since we're lowering the basement slab from about here down to there, our sewer line outlet is no longer below our basement slab. On these dig outs, very often we will need to run the basement floor drain here. We have the toilet there, shower, etc. We'll have to run those into an ejector pit. And so those will get pumped back up into the sewer line. So that's some of the complexities on the plumbing. And then on the electrical, usually on older homes, the electrical services are undersized, the breakers are full, maybe there's aluminum wire, maybe they're missing, neutrals, or, we even found some knob and tube in this one. So we are usually redoing the service completely, upgrading to a 200 amp service, and then rewiring at least all of the new crawl space and basement, but oftentimes rewiring a lot of the first floor to clean up the wires down here. And it's pretty easy to access a lot of those wall outlets and floor outlets from down here in the basement as well. We're resetting the lifespans on those three major systems, as well as the structural components, your slab, and all your under slab components as well. Another big variable for crawl space dig outs is, what is the existing foundation? So this existing foundation here is actually board form concrete, and then you can see the brick above that going, and typically grade stops about here. So on this home in Wash Park, they poured the below grade concrete, above grade all of the brick. This area of Denver here is not expansive soils. So this brick was bearing directly on top of the sandy soils that are here in Denver. So on this design, we did a footing design where we had a footing with a typical foundation wall, underpinned all of the existing walls to reset the foundation lifespan. Some of the other considerations that we have is your house might be on CMU block, it might be on caissons. A lot of areas in Westminster, Arvada, even Aurora have very expansive soils, so a lot of times the houses will be on caissons. That actually makes the excavation of the project easier since the house is supported by the bedrock below instead of the soil right underneath the foundation. We have some other videos on that as well. Part of the structural components of these crawl space dig outs, not only the foundation work, but most of the time we are looking at the existing floor system, the existing beams inside. So you can see here, we got new posts, a new foundation, new pads here, post here, 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 and then also new beams running to support the floor system. We have a drop beam here in the center, and then also a flush beam picking up all the loading in the front here, and that goes to post on both corners here. Also, another consideration for the structural is oftentimes we're going to be reinforcing or replacing a lot of these existing floor joists. You can see up here we've sistered several of these floor joists. There's big notches in the bottom of them that are not in code compliance anymore. So we go through, we'll repair or sister a lot of the existing floor joists to make the upstairs nice and solid as well. All right, so you might ask, why invest in a project like this? Typically, you can get cheaper square foot, cost per square foot doing a basement conversion or a crawl space dig out than doing a similar size project in Denver, whether it be an addition or a pop top. Oftentimes, you know, in Denver with the lot sizes, the additions might not be always feasible, and pop tops are, you know, very expensive. You're usually remodeling the entire first floor too, and you're moving out. In these crawl spaces, you could say living in the existing home while we are working underneath your home. It is a little bit noisy, but most of our clients get accustomed to it, and it's just fine, even if they're working from home. You can save on not paying 2 rents, having to move, and you're on site, you know, to make sure your house is being well taken care of. All right, when you're interviewing a general contractor for a project like this, obviously you want to ask about their experience. How many projects of these do they have ongoing? How many have they done in the city of Denver? City of Denver has very strict licensing requirements. So are they a licensed general contractor in the city of Denver, etc.? So these projects are going to be very involved, complex, and require Denver permitting. Also things like insurance. You know, are they carrying proper insurances? We carry builder's risk insurance during all of our projects, covering the entire structure. So even if we get a hailstorm on this home, we're going to pay for it on our insurance. Also, engineering approach. Do they have an engineer they work with a lot? Are they, you know, recommending a bench design or an underpin design, etc.? That can affect all the design of your home as well. The other thing you might want to ask a contractor about, what sort of guarantees are they going to give you? Are they just a cost plus contractor? Are they going to give you guarantees on a maximum price? We offer a guaranteed maximum price on all of our contracts, as well as a guaranteed duration. That will protect you as a homeowner on the complexity of these projects. You're going to want to hire a professional that can control these variables or have experience with all the different variables, whether it be the city or, you know, the soil types or the existing foundation structures, etc., that you can place your confidence in. So when you are signing that contract, you know how much it's going to cost and how long they're willing to guarantee that it will take. If you're interested in a project like this and would like to talk to us more about your design requirements and what you need from your home, reach out to us through our website. You can go there, click on the link below. We'll put a link below in the description. That'll bring you to our crawl space page, some more information on there. You can go through it, fill out the form, and we'll reach out and schedule a discovery call to talk some more with you about your project.